Welcome to everybody to the 2024 Formula One Monaco Grand Prix. And thank you for everybody that's just about to click off. Just thought I'd say that straight away. We're just hitting the 30-second mark. And
Yeah.
so thanks, everybody. We'll see you
Thanks
next
for
time.
coming by. Mhm.
Yeah, cheers. Okay, for those of you that have decided to stay, we're about to review the Monaco Grand Prix that happened this weekend. This shouldn't take too long, eh, guys?
Nope. Nope.
No.
Not at all.
Also, we're on Kick. Let me just advertise the Kick. We're on Kick now. And yeah, there you go. We're on Kick. Have we got any viewers on Kick? No, we don't. That's okay, though. We don't care. Because we are here to do the serious business of covering sport. I say that before we get going. There's one other little detail I have to go. Fabio, it's although it's getting spring, sometimes the cold weather rolls in, does it not?
Yeah.
It does, but it is spring, and we're getting towards summer, and of course everybody knows in summer one of the worst things to have is hot balls. Do you know what you can do about hot balls?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can burn
You can
them,
burn, yeah. You
or
can.
you can shave them.
Oh, you could shave them, and if you needed to shave them, what products do you think you could buy that would
Well,
actually do a good job of shaving your balls?
you could use gasoline
Okay,
and a match.
that's gonna make them hotter though.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could use I don't
Let me
remember.
stop you there because we could press this joke too far. I'm just saying, Manscaped is probably a good choice. I don't know if I've got a thing ring that bell. Oh, get Manscaped. I've already got one done. There it
Wow.
is. So if you have hot balls, get Manscaped and shave them. Can I just add one other thing, gents? One other thing, gents. When your balls get very hot, you tend to come quicker. So if you want to prolong your sexual libido, right, your sexual performance for your woman, buy Manscaped. Manscaped and shave your bollocks. Okay, I think we're done there with the advertising. They'll be very, they will be very happy with that because I've just introduced a new angle for them
Yeah.
off the top of my head,
Yeah.
which incidentally could be shaved with a ball shaver. Okay, moving on. Are you there, Lucky?
I am indeed.
Thank you so much for coming by, Lucky. We're going to need you today, I can assure you, because
Well, I think we're going to need something. I'm not sure what it is.
yeah, we're going to need something. If you, by the way, if you want to improve your gaming space, Fabio, do you know what you could do?
But I don't know.
Okay, you could put metal shit on your wall. If you want to improve your gaming space, put metal shit on your wall. There we go. That's enough said.
Okay.
Those that are in the know will know.
Okay.
Okay, that's the advertising done. We're now going to get on with the 2024 Formula One Grand Prix review of Monaco. So let me just go here. Oh, in fact, qualifying. Let's start with qualifying. Oh, Jesus. I don't know where I'm going to find the energy to do this. It took all my energy just to watch the race. Yeah, qualifying was Jean Leclerc, the pacey pastry. What's his first name? Charles. Charles. I love it. He's got such a European attitude towards this stuff. Charles Leclerc.
I mean, you should give it a. I mean, you should make an effort, man.
Oh, I can't today. I just can't. I can't. My voice is already gone, and I'm only in the first few minutes. Okay, so Charles Leclerc, the pacey pastry. Then Piastri, the young, fresh boy Piastri, who's done extremely well. Very fast, very talented. Third place, the would-be Ferrari driver, Sainz. Fourth place, I can't remember. Oh, Norris had fourth place. Yeah. And then Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, And that's pretty much how they finished. So that is my race review done at the same time as my qualifying review, which gives you some idea of what happened, which is absolutely bugger all. Apart from further back in the field, where there was a horrendous crash on
Oh, you're,
the first going up the hill the first time with Magnussen astonishingly trying to overtake Perez up the curvy bit, sticking his front wheels alongside Perez's back wheels, like I don't know, like the South American, some kind of mystical, stage, like he'd know he was there. He did, and they crashed.
Move your mic a little bit, Simon.
Okay, one, two, 1, 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So they thought Perez kind of should have known. That was what Magnussen said. He said that Perez should have known that he was there and he was going to put his nose in the back of Perez's car. As it happens, he didn't, and Perez didn't give a fuck. He just carried on driving, and they all crashed. He also happened to take out Hulkenberg in the same time. Magnussen did not get a penalty for that, funnily enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a lucky decision, and one that the stewards overlooked, probably because they didn't want to give him any more points on his license. But anyway, there we go. We could talk about it. We'll talk about it. And then the second crash, of course, was after the hairpin, and rather ambitious move, I felt, of Ocon going down the inside of the other Frenchman, Pierre Gasly, like there was some kind of rivalry between the two, and basically just wiping Gasly out. I don't know where he keeps doing this. I watched another video today of how many times he's hit teammates, and I can say without 6 times it happened, and I can say 5 of them it was definitely Ocon's fault.
Oh, I mean, the bonus point was that they were both on a French car, so that was a triple treat. Yeah,
and although Gasly managed to, despite the fact he was involved in a first lap incident. Obviously, Sainz and Piastri came together, of course, in turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Sainz, luckily, because of the red flag that was caused due to the multiple incidents around the circuit, managed to get back in the race again. And that's why the finishing order remained exactly the same. And I'm not going to go through. There were a couple of interesting things. There was an attempted undercut by Lewis Hamilton on Verstappen, which didn't really work. Red Bull were ready to react and did react very quickly. So that was fine. And so the finishing order was Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Norris, Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton. A great race by Tsunoda. Not to keep it out the barriers, not hit anybody. Alex Albon in 9th place, and Pierre Gasly, despite getting taken out, finishing in 10th place. So this has interesting ramifications because what? Because the points in the championship are Max Verstappen 169, and only 31 points behind now. Charles Leclerc. And then Norris in 3rd place, moving up a place above Sainz. And then Perez 5th, down 2 places in 5th. So didn't move actually. He was just above. And Perez, obviously non-finishing, goes out. Piastri in 6th place. Well done, stretching out his lead on George Russell. Lewis Hamilton behind that. And that was the Monaco Grand Prix. So over to you, Fabio.
Yes. I mean, so the race in itself was was super boring, except for the first lap. Monaco, as always, the race is on Saturday in the qualifying. And the qualifying was really good. I mean, everything but the race was actually fantastic. The the Ferrari and especially Leclerc, just from free practice one, he decided to get it going. Nothing spared, and he always made good timing and all that stuff. The Red Bull, my impression was that they were down on the engine for all the free practices, and they just upped it in the qualifying, but it wasn't enough. Perez, I think, qualified like 18th or something like that. Nowhere to be seen. And Verstappen tried to push in Q3, but he banged in the wall, so he ended up 6th. So Red Bull had some issues. Some of the issues, I think, might be so. I think there are a couple of reasons. I'll talk quickly about the Red Bull right now before going on. Even because there's really nothing else to say. The race finished as it started. The only thing they had to do was manage the tires, and that was pretty much it. The thing with Red Bull, I think that so first of all, they don't do like the other teams, bringing big update packages, but they have a different philosophy of bringing small stuff through all the races. And I think they went a little bit backwards with the updates. It seems to be that the car in the last 2 or 3 races is what we call a really peaky car, meaning that it only works in a very small window, and it's very difficult to put the car in that window of speed, tire temperature, engine temperature, and all that stuff. So that's one thing. The other thing, my impression is that the car has some issues. So it's very rigid, and when they try to soften it up, like it happened, in Monaco, for example, and even in Imola, because of the bumps, the car has some problems. It works really. It seems to be that it's working well, when the track is really flat. There are no big bumps and all that stuff. But if they got to soften the car, it becomes way less forgiving than McLaren or Ferrari right now. Other things before getting to the main topic, which I guess is going to be the accident. I loved on TV they showed Christian Horner's face when Verstappen got 6th in qualifying, and I haven't found it online, but it was really the face of which said, "What the fuck." Like it couldn't be. It was really, really, really cool. Other than that, nothing spectacular happened, as I said. And if we want to go to the main topic, please be my guest.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to pass it over to our not an expert. Lucky 7 Wolfin, thank you for being here, and thank you. How did you find the race? Did you find the race, and what was your unique perspective?
Well, as I already said to you earlier on, unfortunately, because of family commitments, I only saw the highlights of the race. But we'll come to that in a second, because as usual, as always, we have to start with la reportage de Logan Sergent. Now,
Jesus.
Oh yeah. No, I've got an interesting fact about this. Go ahead.
An interesting fact, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Let's start with the reportage. Mr. Sergent, 15th in qualifying and 15th in the race. Is it an improvement now that he's...
And that's it. That's all the reportage.
No. I've got a bit. Don't worry. Go ahead, Lucky.
Is it an improvement from normal? Well, I don't really think so. I think what's more important to talk about at the moment is this was the 7th round of the championship, and it was the first points by a Williams car. Frank Williams must be spinning in his grave. Say no more. But you wanted to talk about Lesage as well.
Yes, I had an interesting factoid I saw. He's
Yeah.
been out-qualified by Alex Albon in the last 27 Grand Prix, 27-0.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's an interesting fact. However, in the last 27 Grand Prix, he's been out-qualified Perez 21 times to 5. Believe it or not, Logan Sargent has out-qualified Perez 5 times during the same period that he's been completely out-qualified by Alex Albon. Interesting factoid for you there.
Yeah.
So he's not that bad.
Well, if you say so. I'm not going to argue the point.
I think that shows that, you know, when people talk about Red Bull, what they should really talk about is Max Verstappen. I don't think that Red Bull. So either Perez is, you know, a very bad driver. It might be the case. I don't know. Or the car is not really that good. So it's either that or that. I mean, there is nothing in between.
Yeah, it's also interesting to say that Perez has just been re-signed.
Has he though? I don't think he did. I don't think so.
I think so. Helmut said that they're going to go with him. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not really sure about that. We'll see.
Okay. I can't. I'm not. I literally heard it about 2 days ago. So maybe my memory was faulty. I was dreaming. Maybe I've just got a Mexican bias because I've been listening to a lot of The Warning recently.
So 2 days ago would be on Saturday.
Yeah.
When he qualified 18th, they decided to resign.
Maybe it was 4 days ago. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm getting old, Fabio.
Yeah.
Last week sometime,
I don't know.
came out and said they're not considering Sainz anymore. We're going to go with Perez. And also that they're going to go with Ricciardo for next year. Those were the 2 bits of news that I heard.
I mean, I don't know. The news that was circulating after Imola was that they were going to say something in summer. So I don't know. I mean, it might be. I haven't checked it out, but yeah.
Okay. Or it could just be Helmut, doing his normal Helmut stuff.
Oh yeah, of course.
There is that as well. Anything you've heard there? Anything at all? What do you think of the Sargent news that I brought to you? That he's out-qualified Perez 5 times.
Who? Me?
No, Lucky.
Ah, okay, yeah.
You're excluded from this conversation because you are very anti-American bias.
Thank fuck for that. Okay, carry on.
But isn't he South American?
He is South American, yes.
Yeah, South American.
But only according to Helmut, of course. That he's actually Mexican. So, there we are. Call that South American if you want. I don't mind.
Well,
anyway.
That might be interesting to say. But again, if you take somebody like Russell, how many times did he out-qualify Perez? It's going to be a lot fucking more than 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean... does that not show that Perez is really shit, as well as Logan Sargent being really shit? I don't know.
Thank you so much, Bub. Good to see you here. Thank you. We were just talking about Logan Sargent, as we do when Lucky's here, and just saying that he's qualified Perez 5 times in the last 30 odd races or 27 races, which is a very imprimpressive feat.
Which is something that nobody fucking cares.
Well, of course nobody cares about it. I mean, of course nobody cares about it. It's a fucking Williams, isn't it? Mind you, Williams got a point or 2, in fact. So Albon managed to double his points total. this at Monaco.
Let's put it like this. Once Logan Sargent's career in Formula One is finished,
Holy
nobody's
shit.
going to describe his time in Formula One as being the guy who outqualified Perez 5 times.
No, well, no, they probably will, because that would be the most impressive fact
Well,
that he actually has achieved. It does remind me of another American driver, actually. Can you guess who I'm thinking about? Another American driver that had a similarly. Say again?
Michael Andretti?
Michael Andretti. You've got it in one. Oh. Replace
he was-
Perez.
he-
See, even Bub is now saying replace Perez. Even, I say even.
Of course it does,
Even Bub. You know. Who do you think, Bub? Who do you think we should replace Perez with? Or who do you think Christian Horner should replace Perez with? Maybe you could answer that for us.
And who do you think you should replace Logan Sargent with?
Jesus Christ.
Well, Perez, presumably. Yeah, they could do with the money. Yeah,
I'd rather go with Mazepin. At least Mazepin has one fastest lap in his career.
He doesn't have a fastest lap.
No,
At least he has one fastest lap in his career. So, yeah, there is that.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. And I would agree with Bob on this.
Yeah.
It should be my Sonoda. That's who he should be replacing him with. Sonoda has been a cracking driver in the last 5 races or so. So I don't know why he's not been given a chance. But they've decided not to. They will not take Sonoda. And let me just say, there are 30-odd million reasons why they're going to stick with
I
Perez.
don't know. I think he has good chances. The only problem with Tsunoda is that he would have been the perfect driver for a Adrian Newey car. He's 161 centimeters. You know, it's 160 centimeters, 1 meter 60 centimeters, and he weighs 58 kilograms. It would have been perfect for an Adrian Newey car.
Let me just put that into American speak for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's short and doesn't weigh fucking jack shit.
Yeah.
Okay, just there we go. Just American speak.
Should I play devil's advocate here just for 1 second?
If you want.
Okay, is it possible that Tsunoda is only in that team because of Honda?
Yes.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
10,
of course.
and the 10 million that he gets paid to be there.
Yeah.
Or,
So
I don't know, it might be 12 million, I think, something like that.
it's hard to
Tsunoda has already paid himself in spades, you know, with all the points that he made for the Cash App, with Toro Rosso, whatever the fuck it's called right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. Also, you know, just to say that, I mean, Perez comes with a lot of money. That Mexican oil money that he brings is huge. So,
well,
you know, that I can see why even a team as big as, what's its name, Red Bull, are tempted by that.
he's actually coming with way less money after last Sunday, though.
Well, yeah, okay. But he can afford to wreck of like 10 cars, you know what I mean? And still,
so
Red Bull are up on the deal.
Listen, I can't remember the previous one. I know it's 1 car short right now. So, because that car is trashed. Like, there is nothing salvageable in that car.
I think it needs a new chassis as well, yeah.
It needs, chassis. I mean, that car needs a new steering wheel. You know, it needs everything. There's nothing good in that car anymore.
Yeah.
Horner said
Needs a new acceleration pedal.
Horner said between 1.2 and $2 million worth of damage.
No. I've heard at least 3 millions.
Yeah,
Oh,
2
$3
to 3
million is
million,
gonna-
I think.
Yeah.
Dollars, yeah.
Yeah, that car is gone.
It
What
was a
went
hard
through
hit.
my mind is like they must have now got pictures of the floor as well, because that was jacked up. This is Monaco we're talking. Not that there was a lot left of it, but
I don't know about it. I think that the floor was all over the track. I mean, it's a giant puzzle. You got to rebuild the floor, so I don't know how much actually of the floor there was there.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, we're talking, of course, of the big accident which happened after the first corner in Monaco. For anybody which has seen the race.
Clearly Magnus's fault, as far as I'm concerned.
You know what?
I don't even think it's a racing accident. That was just ridiculous. Him sticking his nose in there.
Yeah, kind
like anybody knows that is a curvy bit of road. The barriers, it's not too wide. It isn't too wide unless you're right alongside someone, and even then, it's not too wide full speed. So I don't know what he's thinking. I just don't know why. And no penalty. No penalty. Now let's compare that to a later incident in the lap, right, with the Alpines. Right? So Alpine have decided not to race Ocon in Canada. So that's a big penalty that Ocon's paying right there. And then what about the other one as well? There was another... Who got the 5-place grid penalty drop?
I can't remember.
Who was it? Someone remind me quickly.
5 seconds penalty? Another one?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, someone
got a 10-second penalty even though he was out of the race. And they changed that to a 5-place grid penalty.
It's Ocon. I think it's Ocon.
Oh, that was Ocon. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Okay. That's why they're probably not racing him then, because he's got a 5 grid penalty. But I think these days the penalties carry over. Let me just have a quick look here. Talk amongst yourselves while I look it up.
No, I mean, about the accident, I was kind of with you when I saw the race.
Yes.
I'm not really so sure after having seen some other images. So I'm not. So first of all, I think that the whole thing started at the Sandevot corner. The first one, because I think it was Bottas which tried to overtake somebody, and Perez had a really bad exit from the corner.
Yeah.
Magnussen was behind, and while it is true that Magnussen wasn't ahead of Perez, it wasn't behind Perez. Now the thing I'm saying is that I saw some images. If you want, I can show it to you. It's from the official F1 channel. It's just a little bit.
Okay.
There is a strange trajectory that Perez makes, and is way more on the right than anybody else. It is true that at a certain point you got to go right, okay, because there is a left corner, and it is true. But I mean, I can present my video, and I can if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me see.
Yeah, no, you're right. And also Perez was looking in the right in rear mirror.
Yeah,
so he did know that he was there. So there's that as well.
But okay, so let me go. Okay, so this is Perez, okay? And so I want, and this is Magnussen. So I want you guys to look at the cars in front of Perez, which trajectory they make, okay?
Yeah.
So I'll go really slow. Let me try this. Okay, so just look at the cars in front.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now Perez is basically the rightmost car at this point of the track. Okay, so look at these zebra things, and see where he goes.
And we know he's looking in his right wing mirror at this point as well.
Okay. So look where he is now.
Yeah. He's definitely trying to cut him off and say, "Don't go there. Don't go there."
Right.
Don't go there.
And keep in mind that Magnussen right now has nowhere fucking to go. The only thing he can go is lift. Yeah. But there is another. I mean, there is a Senna quote that everybody remembers. We can say that after that.
Yeah.
But again,
I'm sure
if you look at all the other cars,
I'm sure Senna didn't mean it for people that were at the back of the grid.
So another interesting thing. This is where usually the cars tend to go right, just to go to this place.
Yeah, you
he
can
is
see.
is there. None of the cars is there.
Yeah. Oh, then he kind of comes back a little bit. Interesting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it just goes there. Bang.
Yeah.
This
Then
is
he
where
goes.
he steers the wheels, and this is where he goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is where Magnussen touches and and all the thing happens, and there it goes.
Interesting. Yeah, that is quite. Oh, it does. There.
He's
That's
there,
where
and
he's
the other
from.
car. Yeah, I mean, this car is in this position after the stripes are,
Yeah.
and this guy is already there.
And he's looking left. He's looking right. We know he's looking right.
Right, and the other thing, he knows there is somebody here.
Yeah.
Because this car is there at this point, is there already, and he's still not there. This is where he corners. It's like there is nobody.
No.
How can I say? Well, say hoped or thought that
Yeah.
Perez
Perez
knew
would
he
get
was
out the
there.
way. Well, you
Yeah.
did know he was there.
Well, if he
know-
knew
we
he was
know
there,
that.
so, it
We
would
know
have
that.
given it a little bit of space. I don't know what the fuck. The thing is that probably what Magnussen thought was, okay, Perez has more to lose than me,
Yeah.
right? What he didn't think about is that actually on Sunday, and I sent you a message, I think that Perez has way less to lose than anybody else because he made a shitty qualifying. He wasn't going to get any points. So I think that actually crashing into somebody in that way was a God gift to him because he didn't have to justify him doing a shitty race in Monaco. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And also, if I'm right, and he was confirmed, like the rumors say, that he's going to be there next year, then yeah, he hasn't got anything to lose.
Yeah.
'Cause he's already got his sign. He's already signed.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
all
mean,
confirmed, shall we say?
okay,
I'm
so
not gonna
Paris,
say
I think the Paris should remember two things right now. The first one is the quote from Senna,
Yeah.
which used to say, if you're a racing driver and if you see a spot or a place you go, if you don't go there, you're not a racing driver. First of all, and the second thing that Paris should remember is I don't know if it was either Benny Eccleston or Flavio Briatore who said, yeah, it is true, but contracts in F1 are not even worth the paper they're printed on. So,
Yeah,
so,
no, look, I am actually correct. It says Perez is set to stay with Red Bull for a fifth season in 2025, with reports in the media claiming that six-time Grand Prix winner is on the cusp of signing. Yeah, so not signed yet, but on the cusp. So there we go, Bub.
We'll see.
Yeah, there we go, Bub. Looks like you're going to have to suffer one more year with that fine teammate. Like as I said, as I remember, roughly it's like 30 million. It's probably more now that oil money is bringing, and that is one of the biggest paid drivers you can get, right? So there we go. Oh, we got a new viewer, Hugo Gonzalez. Anybody want to try that?
No compré boletos para el Premio México en protesta de la FIA. Estamos esperando a Magnussen in Mexico para dar. Okay, I think they say that they're waiting for Magnussen to get to Mexico for giving a pasadita, which I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's something really nice. So there is that. So yeah, cool.
Something to do with a protest to the FIA.
Good one, Hugo. Good one, Hugo.
So what do you think about the accident, Lucky?
Okay, my opinion would be this. These are supposedly the top 20 drivers competing in the premier motorsport series in the world. Do you really think that was behavior of top 20 drivers? I'll leave it at that, and you can make up your own mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you put it like that, my answer would be definitely yes. I mean, this guy raced. They don't fuck around. So yes.
Yeah, but as you know, you don't win races by crashing in the first lap.
Well, you don't even win
Don't do any
races,
racing.
especially in Monaco. You don't win races if somebody overtakes you, because especially at the first corner, which is where everything
Corner.
can happen and will happen. Because other than that, it's gone.
Yeah.
With the cars that wide in Monaco, I mean, you can't pass.
Okay, but the problem with that
Leclerc
is
showed that.
what you're
But
saying is that Monaco is putting drivers in a position that it's either crash or forget it,
or burn, yeah.
or both.
Although I just also want to add in.
Listen,
I want to add
sorry.
in something. No, I just want to add in something here, which is also you don't win races if you sign for Haas.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So two or three, I think it was 3 years ago. Anybody remembers the race that Ricciardo made with the DRS, which wasn't working, and he managed not to have anybody pass him? That's Monaco. You can't possibly pass.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the only chance you have to pass is at the first corner, which is something that, by the way, Bottas knew really well. Bottas just kamikaze himself into that because he said, I'm either going to pass here or fuck it. I mean, with the Sauber, what the fuck is going to happen?
Well, Stroll managed to go around someone in the tunnel, didn't he? That's kamikaze.
Kamikaze.
That's super kamikaze, first of all. And second of all, how many years ago did it happen?
Oh, no, this thing. He overtook someone. This thing, in this thing.
In this race,
Grand Prix. Yeah, in this race.
Oh, okay.
I think he went round someone he overtook someone in the tunnel. I mean, they got a poor exit out of the last corner because everybody.
Oh, okay,
was
fair enough.
Reasons, and it was like a, something like a, what do you call the car?
You
What do you
overtook.
What do you call that car? I don't know. Whatever you call that car, that was the car. Yeah, so it doesn't really count. Anyway.
You overtook Sargent at one point as well. And I'll come
Was it
to
Sargent? It might have been Sargent.
Well, no, that wasn't in the tunnel.
That doesn't count.
So okay, but that proves my point. In Monaco, either the guy makes a mistake or it's Sargent you got in front of, and then you can make a pass, and that's it. But there is only one Logan Sargent, and usually is at the bottom of the grid. So passing him doesn't even qualify. Because
he beat. Not only did he out-qualify Perez, he also beat Perez in the race as well.
Yeah.
Logan Sargent. There you go.
If you're putting drivers, the main point I think of this is if you're putting drivers onto a track where it's either crash or get nowhere.
That's your notes, is it?
Yeah.
Notes, fucking rubbish race that was.
Yeah, if you're forcing the drivers onto a track where it's going to be overtake or crash, I think we need to seriously think about a racing at Monaco as it is.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we got a race where the top 10 qualifying positions were the top 10 finishing positions in the race. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not. Sure. I mean, but we since when have we ever raced anywhere because it's good racing? Right.
Well,
it's about how much money does the Liberty Media get paid. It's not Bernie Ecclestone anymore. Does Liberty Media get paid for going there? And I would reckon Monaco is probably one of the highest paying circuits.
Yeah, sure. I've never thought before that perhaps Monaco should go, but after this weekend, it's maybe the cynic in me is coming out, but that's what I kind of thought. And
Thank you. I have to interrupt. Thank you, Holy Speckle.
Hey,
thank you so much. I miss you so much. And talk to me on Discord at some point. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
As I told you guys earlier, I didn't get to see the race because of family commitments, and I watched the highlights when I got home. Now, after the two accidents and the restart, the next highlight they showed was Stroll passing Sargent. And that about sums up the whole of that race, really. If the best they can come up with is someone who finished 2 laps down being overtaken by somebody who finished 1 lap down, then holy shit, what are we doing at Monaco?
By the way, I use Google Translate to translate what Hugo said before, and it basically says, "Do not buy tickets for the Mexico Grand Prix in protest to the FIA. We are waiting for Magnussen in Mexico to give him a ride." So yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that about the FIA? In protest, don't buy tickets.
Don't buy tickets for the Grand Prix in protest to the FIA.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. The FIA have done a shocking job this year.
The thing is that
right?
the thing is that I think that the tickets go to the promoter of the Grand Prix mostly. The FIA will get his money from TV. So I mean, you don't buy tickets in Mexico. You're going to hurt mostly the promoter of the Grand Prix. So I don't know.
For sure, it's a bought and paid for sport. The circuits pay a flat fee to host a Formula One Grand Prix.
It would be the circuit owners that suffer, I think, if it's lack of ticket sales.
Okay, let me just put this on. All right. Don't worry, something was boat with Simon. And I knew Fabio would say that. I was waiting for it, Fabio. Nothing worse than a Gen Xer who's Italian. They're brutal. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, yeah, sorry. I mean, is there anything else? Ocon is the one who got the 5-grid penalty, by the way. At the next race, whatever next race it is, but Alpine is saying that they're probably not going to run him in Canada.
Okay, yeah.
So that's interesting. And then, in which case, what's the race after Canada? I mean,
I don't know, but I can check.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it myself. If you could carry on talking.
Yeah.
Canada and something.
Canada and Spain. Español. So Barcelona. The Catalan race, presumably. Okay. Well, I suppose 5-grid places at Spain's not so bad. It's not as bad as it could be. You've still got a chance at Spain, haven't you? Especially now they've changed the final corner to be that flat-out one. You've got a chance to get up to somebody in the first chicane. But anyway, dodgy overtaking place that is, if there is one. Anyway, so grid penalty for Esteban Ocon for dodging, and that's why it's strange, like, because that's a first. I mean, that seemed more like a racing incident to me than Magnus. Magnus was a wing and a prayer.
I think,
right? I mean, like Ocon was fully alongside Gasly, although didn't leave him any room on the exit, which again is
so there is a rationale that, I mean, we might agree or not, but the general rationale is that the first corner is they usually give way more leeway in all the races.
Sure.
I think that they consider. Yeah. I think they consider the one Ocon, already going on. Also, if I'm not mistaken, they already because they issued yellow flag, not in that sector, but they issued yellow flag already.
Right.
So I think that the moment where the accident with Ocon and Gasly happened, they consider it to be in the race, so they punish it a little bit more. I don't know. That is when I'm thinking. I mean, my idea.
Well, to me, it's there's two things. Well, three things really. Firstly, Magnussen had no chance. I mean, there was no chance of getting through. That was a stupid thing he did. Is putting his front wheels alongside the back. In my opinion, right? Just my opinion. Because that bit of road was always going to run out. So he was always looking for Perez to see him and move out of the way. Not going to happen. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Secondly, Ocon was just crazy suicidal running down there. There was no way to do that and leave room on the exit for the car in front. So hang on, I'm just getting through all of my flight, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy as well, right? So I can understand him getting a penalty. But thirdly, why wasn't the red flag called when the accident happened? The Perez accident. Why didn't they go, right, red flag, straight away, bang?
Well, it
No.
takes a second to go there. I mean, they actually
A second, yeah, but
well,
not 30 seconds, so the cars are at a different point on the track.
I don't think it was 30
Just saying,
seconds.
if they'd
But
called the red flag straight away, everybody would have backed off. That never would have happened. But they let them carry on racing into the tunnel. That's crazy for me. Anyway, there you go. I've said my bit. I'm going to shut up.
I think that there are differences in the two accidents. So the Ocon Gasly thing, before Ocon ran into Gasly, the corner before, just outside the, it was called the Loews. I don't know what the fuck
Lowe's
they're called.
hairpin, yeah. No, they
Yeah,
call
but
it
it's
that
not the
still.
Loews right now. It's because
Whatever it is, yeah.
the hotel is another hotel. But anyway, Ocon already was jumping on the sidewalk, so I think it was a repeat maneuver, for Ocon and Gasly, and they were a little bit more firm on that. The other thing, the other difference, I think, while you're right that Kevin Magnussen, I mean, there was no way he would make it. I think, I'm not sure, that they took into consideration the fact that, first of all, the trajectory that Perez made. Second of all, the fact that Perez looked in the mirror in some way, and the way it turned on the right. So I think, this is my impression, I think that they gave like a little bit of fault to Perez too. Not too much, but just enough, and because it was basically the first corner, they decided not to punish it. This is my general impression, but I might be wrong.
Okay. Lucky, what do you feel overall about this?
To be honest, I've not seen the accident from anything but the onboard. So I don't really feel I can comment too much on it.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
Again,
fair enough.
Is this a desperation move that's forced onto the driver by the nature of the track? I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you're not far wrong there. Again, I think. Oh, hang on a second. Here we go. Idea. For every 10 points gained in the championship, you get 1 place deducted from your qualifying result. You can choose when to take the penalties. And I'm not exactly sure what you mean there. Idea. For every 10 points gained in the championship, you get 1 place deducted from your qualifying result.
That means if Verstappen's 20 points ahead and he qualifies first,
you mean
second.
Points on the license?
Third.
No, I think he means points on the license. Could you just clarify for us what you mean by 10 points gained?
In the championship, he says 10 points gained in the championship.
Yeah. In the championship, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can choose when to take penalties. I don't understand that last bit then. Yeah, maybe if you could just elucidate a little bit for us, Bub. Or if you want to come in and tell us, that I can drop a link for you, whichever you prefer.
Anyway, I think we're done with Monte Carlo. The other thing that I don't know, unless you guys have got something more to say.
I just want to see what Bub says. Hang on a second. Like Verstappen has 110 points, that would be 11 places back to the start of the race. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So it's like a adverse points thing for how well you're doing. Yeah. So you're saying if you have if you're winning the championships, you start further back. I think it's a bit gimmicky for me. Yeah, that would be my thing. It's not a bad idea to consider.
Well, it might get problematic at the end of the season. If you have to two guys, close enough to battle, for the last races or not. That
but you're saying like you only take them once for every 10 points. So if you take them, like you could take all 11. If you had 110 points, like he says, you could take it all in one race. Or you could start 3 places back for the next 4 races,
Yeah, but I'm thinking about the end of the season. That might get a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know.
It's not a bad idea to consider. I think that's not a bad idea to consider. Sounds a little gimmicky off the front of it, but we got to do something, haven't we, to stop these like runaway championships? I don't know. Maybe we don't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in the last two races, we've seen that
Yes.
what we the cars are way more balanced than they were a couple of years ago, or even last year. So
Sure, for sure.
so we'll
The
see.
upgrades have really worked, and mainly because they're all copying the Red Bull cars. But
Well, there is also the fact. I mean, I think Red Honor said it quite well. I mean, this is the third year of the actual rules, so eventually people have figure out what works and what doesn't work. So the performances are getting really close, especially because of the fact that compared to the previous rules, they were really hinging a lot on the performance on the engine. Well, this set of rules is really hinging a lot on the car, or the body of the car, while the engine are basically frozen. So it's I don't know. It's
you made an interesting point where you said to me at some point, it's amazing how badly Red Bull have done after Newey announced he was leaving. So, I mean, coincidence? Yeah, probably coincidence. But at the same time, interesting nonetheless.
Coincidence, I found it really interesting that Newey was in Monte Carlo, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
After, they announced that Imola was the last race he was going to be there. Now, it is true that basically Newey came to Monte Carlo to present the RB17, the hypercar. Yeah. It is true. But still, he was on the track. He had the jersey, not the cap, but he had the jersey. So
remember the last time as well when he took some gardening leave to go and do the America's Cup boat, design the America's Cup boat for New Zealand, I guess, and basically he was away from the track. He didn't come to any Grand Prix during that period at all. Mm-hmm. And as soon as Red Bull started doing less well, I wouldn't say they did badly. Yeah, Newey was kind of recalled to the Formula One track, and at the time I thought, he's a bitch, isn't he? He's Christian Horner's bitch, isn't he? Because okay, no, come on, you can't have your fun anymore. We need you. Let's come back here. We can't, And now it's all like, well, we don't need Newey much. But here he is again with his red notebook, taking notes.
Yeah, so it was interesting, and it was actually noted in the paddock. I mean, the fact that Newey was there was quite surprising to everybody. But anyway.
There was somebody else that was there as well. Now Max isn't doing so well.
Oh, his father, you mean?
Yep, his dad was there for the first time. Yeah. Having said he's not going to be at the circuits anymore. Yeah. Christian, now he's there, because Max said, no, I want him there. And presumably he's not rallying this weekend. That was the key factor. But anyway. Okay, anything you want to add here, Lucky?
Well, as we're leaving, I suppose we better say that Charles Leclerc, very popular win and a non-Verstappen win. So we should be thankful for that.
Indeed. Leclerc was excellent in qualifying. In fact, all weekend, Leclerc has been outstanding. Yes. This is not some lucky, Max didn't do well.
Oh,
no. Leclerc really won this race.
He was super focused. I mean, you could see in FP1, in FP2, when you saw him walking, he was super focused. It was brilliant. Brilliant.
I mean, speaking of walking, we're going to look forward to next year, aren't we, Fabio? When there are two of them.
Oh yeah.
When two become one, and they go walking their dogs together. Leon and Roscoe. Is that what you said, Lucky?
Roscoe.
Roscoe. Yeah. Leo and Roscoe walking their dogs together. I'm looking forward to it.
This is actually Lewis congratulating Charles while he was giving the interview. He just stopped by and said, great race, man, and yeah. So it was cool to watch.
Heartwarming, and good signs for next year as well. So I'm glad to be back, being, because I've always been part of the Tifosi. I've always been a Tifosi, really, deep down inside.
Deep down, yeah.
And so I'm glad to be back in red. And
you have managed to hide that really well for more than 7 years. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
No, there was 1 year, wasn't there? There was 1 year when I was a couple of years ago after Lewis stopped winning. I went, I may as well just be a Tifosi now.
Anyway, we got 3 minutes for all the stuff.
Yeah, let me just say thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Bob. And we're going to do let me just press the music button.
Yeah.
Beep. Quiz or myth, myth or quiz, quiz or myth or quiz or myth. It's the quiz and it's the myth. Over to you, Lucky.
Lucky, you have 3 minutes. Go.
Just stop your heckling. Stop your heckling. Okay.
That's another 15 seconds gone.
It's 10:57.
Today.
Now it's 58. So 2 minutes. Go.
Are you done? Are you done? Okay.
20 seconds.
It's time for the Formula One Intercontinental Trivia Challenge. Round 8, I believe we're into now. So today we're going to be playing Guess the Driver. I'm going to give you some clues. If you get it on the first clue, 3 points. Second clue, 2 points. Third clue, 1 point. And we'll keep going until somebody gets the answer. And whoever gets the answer will get the 1 point. Okay. So the first clue to this driver, fuck off. The first clue to this driver is he won the last race that Colin Chapman threw his hat in the air. So he's a Lotus driver, and that race was in Austria, 1985. That's your first clue. Winner of the Austrian Grand Prix 1985, which was also the last time that Chapman threw his hat in the air.
Oh, I remember it so well.
85.
Chapman died later that year, unfortunately. And of course, never saw another winner. So that was the last time he threw his hat in the air, which had been a tradition of his since the very start of Grand Prix racing.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Was it Senna?
No.
Okay, that's your guess for the number 1 clue. Dennis someone. Dennis. No. Okay, it's not Dennis.
The next clue, funnily enough, is he was Ayrton Senna's teammate in 1985.
Was it Warwick?
No.
Oh, Christ, who the fuck was it?
Patrese?
I know why you said Warwick, but we'll come back to that. But this is going to be part of this is going to be the myth as well today as the quiz.
One guess per clue, just to try and keep it.
You went with Dennis. Somebody did you say?
No, that was my first answer.
Oh, that's okay. Clue. So have you got another?
I don't. 85.
So you've got winner of the 85 Austrian Grand Prix.
Hang on. Sorry.
And Senna's teammate.
I don't know, Mansell maybe.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. You might. Yeah, that's why I said Patrese Babelvis, because it was either that or that one. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
If Bobby's right, just give him the points.
Yeah. Well, okay. I want alpha point if you guys can pronounce the name correctly.
Elio De Angelis.
Elio De Angelis. Yes.
Well, that
Is that
kind
who
of
it
fucks
was?
things
Yeah.
up.
As soon
That
as,
kind of
yeah,
fucks
I
things
think Bub got that though. Well done, Bub.
Yeah, no, he's
Guessing-
right. That's why I
Yes,
said
you're absolutely
Patrese,
right.
because I remember it was an Italian driver, and I just had a brain fart and I said Patrese, but I was actually thinking about Elio De Angelis. But anyway, I was wrong. So, and Bob Evans got it. So
The reason you thought Derek Warwick perhaps was because there was a rumor, if you remember, that Senna didn't want Derek Warwick as his teammate at Lotus because he was scared of him or some gibberish like that.
Oh, fuck off. Derek Warwick was
yeah,
not
that's not the reason why I said
Yeah.
Derek Warwick. I
No,
can
no,
fucking
no,
guarantee you that it's
Yeah.
not
That
the
was
reason.
the rumor that went about. However, the third clue I was going to give, if you remember the last time we did Guess the Driver, I gave you an event that he was well associated with. And on this occasion, the event that he was associated with was the San Marino Grand Prix in 1985. Now, that was the race that was famous for people running out of petrol, if you remember. Okay, and Elio De Angelis.
Everybody ran it on the last lap as well.
Yeah, Elio De Angelis won that race without ever leading. Here's what happened. People were running out of petrol all over the place. Senna was in the lead. He was getting chased by Prost, but Prost backed off because he knew he was using too much fuel. And it ended up with Stefan Johansson in second place in his second drive for Ferrari. Senna ran out of fuel, and then Stefan Johansson ran out of fuel, which left Prost in the lead with Elio De Angelis in the Lotus in second place. Now, Prost crossed the line first, and then Julie ran out of fuel. However, at post-race scrutineering, his car was found to be 2 kilograms underweight. So he was therefore disqualified. And Elio De Angelis was given the victory of that race without actually leading at any single point. So there we go. Nobody gets any points in the experts. However, Bob gets
2 points.
points. Two points in the chat. So well done, Bob. No points again. Still 2-all. However, I think it's only fair that we also talk a little about Elio De Angelis. Elio De Angelis was described as the last gentleman driver after his death, which we'll come to shortly. Started off his Formula One career with Shadow, then teammate with Senna at Lotus, where he won both his victories, which were the Austrian Grand Prix, as I said earlier, and the San Marino Grand Prix at Imola that year after Prost's disqualification. He then moved to Brabham, but was unfortunately killed in a testing accident at Paul Ricard Circuit. The rear wing of the Brabham broke when he was testing, which caused the car to...
Don't tell me you got footage of it.
No. No footage. The car vaulted one of the barriers, the side of the circuit, without actually causing too much injury to De Angelis. However, the car went on fire, and with a lack of track marshals or assistants, with him being unable to get out of the car, it was quite a while that he was trapped inside. He actually only had, I think, a broken collarbone and a broken wrist or something like that as actual injuries. However, he actually died of smoke inhalation and was the last driver to die in a Formula One car before Roland Ratzenberger at the 94 Imola practice. Now, there is a story which I can neither confirm or deny. After his death, Derek Warwick took over his seat at Brabham. Now, the story goes that after his death, there were several drivers who would qualify with licenses to drive in Formula One. And out of all of those people, there was only one person who did not contact Bernie Ecclestone, who owned Brabham at the time, to ask for DeAngelis's seat. So Bernie Ecclestone decided that he would give Derek Warwick the drive in the Brabham for the rest of that year. Now, whether that story is true or not, I don't know. However, it does sound very plausible knowing Formula One drivers.
Yeah, and knowing Derek Warwick, he was a bit of a charmer when it came. He was a talker. He was a blagger, like Bernie. So they probably got on quite well.
There's a lot of background to Derek Warwick after his Formula One career with his younger brother. I don't know if you know the story of his younger brother.
I don't know. I'm sorry I brought that up now.
Well, we'll leave it for another day. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. He has a brother who's more interesting than Derek. Okay.
He had a brother who was
Derek, of course, went on to be
prodigy.
Sorry. Yeah, Derek went on, of course, to be a British touring car champion at some point as well. I think he was in British touring
drove.
car.
I'm not sure he was champion, but he certainly drove there.
Yeah, he was very good in it as well. Although he was up against some of the greats, Colin Turkington or someone like that.
Oh yeah, it was in the time when there was a lot of ex Grand Prix drivers.
I remember. Speaking of which,
won the championship.
Speaking of which, Mansell drove British touring car, won at Donington once. Do you remember that?
And he also drove. Yeah, he drove a few rounds actually.
Had a huge fucking crash. I mean, he overtook half the field doing it, and then got to the old hairpin.
That's right.
Just smashed into the old fucking bridge.
He had in fact he had a whole turn of lock on too much. That was what the problem was. It was a front drive car, and he thought he'd got it all back together with the car going straight, but unfortunately he had a turn of lock on too much to the left, and it sent the car all over the place. And
it was a damp day as well. Slight bit of rain, and obviously just jumping in a touring car, didn't really know what to do with the thing. But like just seeing like Mansell get in a car and overtake the best in the country, it was just brilliant. Just brilliant. Typical Mansell. I've got a fucking throttle. Just front to the floor. Anyway,
so if Mansell was there instead of Magnussen, he would have done exactly the same thing.
I don't think so.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, no, he had a lot of respect. I mean, like, how many laps did he try to overtake Senna? Do you know what I mean? That's the classic, isn't it? That classic one where
15,
he put fresh tyres on, caught Senna up, and couldn't get past him because Senna was very defensive. I think okay. Let's not get into it. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. 2 weeks time, we will be back for the Canadian Grand Prix. So again, should be a relatively interesting race. Another bumpy circuit. So we're hoping that Verstappen won't be in his element so much. Mm-hmm. In which case, bring on those Ferraris. That's all I could say. And thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the show. Of course, thank you, Bob. We're very jealous that you got DeAngelis. I can tell you that right now, because both of us were looking at the car, going, "Yeah, I know who it is. Yeah, I know who it is. I know who it is," and neither of us did. Okay. So thank you, Bob. Anything else you want to say, gentlemen, before we go?
No, I mean, besides the fact that it was a fantastic Sunday for the results. I mean, just seeing the Prince Albert, I think it's Albert, popping up the champagne, and that was something. And also,
he was in tears, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was in tears. I mean, he sang the anthem, and he also sang, the Italian anthem a little bit. So yeah, that was something. The last two laps, as described by Charles Leclerc, when he kept thinking about his father, Jules Bianchi. He said at a certain point, I think in the last two laps, when he got out of the tunnel, he couldn't see the corner because he was crying inside. So, I mean, this is what people watch the races for the drivers. And Other than that, again, fantastic Sunday. Francesco Bagnaia won in Catalonia, with the
good race as well.
motorcycles.
Good race
So
as well.
yeah, it was a Sunday in red.